Yeah, just a quick review of the book. My shoulder hurts, my elbow hurts. Subtitle Illustrated Handbook for Seniors with Shoulder and Elbow Pain. Written by two orthopedic surgeons. That's noteworthy. Basically, the book is divided up into three sections. The first section is the shoulder. Here it talks about the anatomy of the shoulder and some common problems you can have with your shoulder, such as bursitis, arthritis, frozen shoulder. Section 2 is the elbow. Here they go over some anatomy, talk about elbow injuries, and miscellaneous conditions of the elbow. Section 3 is general orthopedic considerations. A lot of different information in this section, like the diagnosis process, imaging and lab studies, talk a little bit about arthritis, infections, bone cancer, how to help yourself before and after surgery, just a lot of different stuff. So yeah, I think if you're a senior and you had problems with your shoulder, your elbow, I think this is I think it's a good resource. I'm really glad to see that there are books coming out now just specifically for seniors, because there's really not too many of them. Other one resource I know of that's really good is the 6-minute torn rotator cuff solution for seniors by Jim Johnson PT, a physical therapist. If you have this is good even if you just have any kind of shoulder problem, because just about any shoulder problem, if you strengthen the rotator cuff, it's going to help with that, even if you have arthritis, because it's going to the rotator cuff stabilizes your shoulder joint. It's the main stabilizer. It's a group of muscles, and if you can get more stability, it basically solves a lot of shoulder problems. Well, yeah, just real briefly a little bit about this. What exactly is the rotator cuff? So that way, a lot of people don't know that it's actually comprised of about 4 different muscles. If you've torn your rotator cuff or have a problem with it, this is really answers you need to know for sure. What are the symptoms of a rotator cuff tear? Are there any arm maneuvers that might indicate you have a rotator cuff problem? What tests are usually used to diagnose a rotator cuff tear? Where does it tear at? Let's see, just everything you always wanted to know. Like if you tear your shoulder and you've been struggling with it, torn rotator cuff, and you're wondering, what do I do? This is a great resource. Are there different kinds of rotator cuff tears? Other questions. I have a rotator cuff tear and I'm in a lot of pain. I need surgery, right? Well, not necessarily. This book's very heavily evidence-based. These boxes is like a study. Real quick, it goes over. So it's just based solely on research. What will happen if you just leave your rotator cuff tear alone? So you go over studies where they follow people for years. Like this one follows 8 years. Just great. Does have a torn rotator cuff set me up for getting shoulder arthritis? Nobody ever seems to address that. How does exercise compare to surgery when it comes to rotator cuff? Well, come to find out, if you want to find out, you do look at all the randomized controlled trials, and this guy's looked at all the randomized controlled trials comparing surgery to exercise, and basically you end up at the same spot. Whether you have surgery or exercise, your outcome's the same. To that end, the book kind of ends with the exercise program, and it has a beginning, intermediate, and advanced section. So, sometimes people have a rotator cuff tear, their shoulder hurts, it's just kind of nagging, and they can really do a little more with their shoulder than somebody who's like just torn it. So there's different levels of exercises. The whole program takes you 10 minutes or less a day. So really, really great book. Like if you've struggled with any kind of rotator cuff problem and you don't know what to do, check it out. It's a 6-minute, yeah, and this really will only take you 6 minutes. But yeah, if you're looking for resources, trying to increase your knowledge about shoulder and elbow problems, I think this is a great book, so definitely check it out.